Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday out there. We are gearing up for two major snowstorms that will be crossing the country as we go into this weekend and early next week, and we'll be diving into the details that you need to know to stay ahead of the storms out there. And we also have an Arctic blast on the way toward the middle of January. We'll be diving into those details later on in today's video. If you are new to the channel and not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below for detailed weather breakdowns across North America and the tropics. We will keep you covered with accurate weather forecasts right here on this channel. And also be sure to press the like button down below. It helps out more than you know. Walking out the door for school, for work, or just running errands this morning, it is chilly across southern Canada and the mainland United States here. The freezing line this morning is all the way south there into the southern plains and the southeast. We're waking up to low temperatures at 27 in Nashville, 26 in Oklahoma City and Amarillo, and 28 up here into Des Moines, Iowa this morning. So definitely a chilly start to your Wednesday, January 3rd, and we're going to remain chilly across the north going into this afternoon. Highs in southern Canada primarily into the single digits and the teens, and then portions of the northern tier of the United States highs into the 20s and 30s, and then 40s and 50s further to the south by the afternoon. We are keeping an eye on two storm systems, the first of which will be moving into the southwest United States this afternoon into Southern California and Arizona. And that storm system and trough will be diving to the east-southeast into the southern plains through Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico by Friday, January 5th. And you can see here there are winter weather headlines across the Pacific Southwest, including California, Nevada, getting into Arizona, portions of Utah there, even into Colorado and New Mexico. Those areas are gearing up for some heavier snow as we go through the next 24 to 72 hours. Here is our current weather conditions across southern Canada and the United States. We have a small system, a weak system, near the Gulf Coast here into New Orleans, into southern Mississippi and southern Alabama this morning. This could be bringing some light to moderate rainfall. That is not that big of a deal. Our main player is back here to the west, across portions of the west coast, bringing in the higher elevation snows, but also the rainfall there to coastal California, Oregon, and Washington State here this morning. Going through the afternoon hours, you can see we're going to remain those light to moderate snow bands across the higher elevations of the Pacific Northwest into the western United States, especially the Sierras getting some decent snows today, and then those lower elevations and through the Sacramento Valley there from Sacramento down through San Diego, Los Angeles, on and off chances of some rain today. As we go into Thursday, still seeing the Pacific Northwest active with rain and snow, whether you're in the higher elevations and see snow or in the lower elevations and see rain. And then we start to see precipitation moving into the Four Corners region as we go into Thursday there, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico there, and into Arizona. We could be seeing some heavier snow there as we go into Thursday. And then Friday, that storm system kicks out into the southern plains with that low pressure, and that brings in some cold air over the top there. We definitely have some snow across the northern Rockies and the Great Plains with rainfall further down toward the south there into Texas. Overall, our rainfall accumulation now through Friday night on January 5th, here's the precipitation we're keeping an eye on, and you can see the heaviest of the rains will be out to the west, and then especially down here with that preceding system today into your Thursday time frame across East Texas, getting through Louisiana, Mississippi into western Alabama. Some of those areas like Houston, Tyler, Texas, the Shreveport region, over here to New Orleans, and even Hattiesburg, Mississippi, could be seeing widespread 1 to 3 inches worth of rain between now and Friday night. Otherwise, it's the snow out there that we see with this system. Cold air aloft across the Rockies and the Sierras. Definitely seeing some very heavy snow out there. Zooming it in, the Sierras could be picking up over a foot of snowfall between now and Friday night. So definitely picking up some heavy snows out here. And we have to keep an eye on travel out across the west as well. We got a lot of travel out there. It is the work week, so we do have to keep an eye on those roads. We are seeing some minor to moderate travel inconveniences across Nevada, getting across the Four Corners region and into west central Kansas through Friday night. The heaviest travel concerns will be in the highest of elevations of the Sierras, where we have those major travel inconveniences the higher up you go in the Sierras. So make sure you are keeping an eye on that. Then the system will be moving into the eastern United States by the weekend. Here's that low pressure system across North Carolina on Saturday, a 1,003 millibar low. It's weaker initially, but look how strong that system gets. It strengthens to a 984 millibar low just off of Cape Cod as we go into Sunday afternoon on January 7th. So what this means, we're going to have all rain across the Carolinas, Georgia, and into Florida. A few thunderstorms will be possible. Not really expecting much of a severe weather threat on Saturday. There's the snowfall, or a rain-snow mix across the mid-Atlantic through West Virginia, through northern Virginia, and into Maryland, and that could be as far north as southern Pennsylvania on Saturday. Saturday night, look at that heavy snowfall shield here as that system really begins to strengthen. The rain-snow line is going to be key to see who gets all rain or who gets all snow, and heavy snow at that with this system. Right now, that looks to set up shop across portions of central Maryland, southern New Jersey, eastern portions of Long Island, and up toward Cape Cod, just south of Boston, with the heaviest corridor of snow setting up near the I-95 corridor there. So across eastern Pennsylvania, north central New Jersey through the New York City area, western Long Island, and then up through the Hartford region in Connecticut, Boston, and even parts of Rhode Island. Starting to see some heavier snow as we go into Saturday night. Moving the clock to Sunday here on January 7th, we're still seeing the back end of the system producing some heavier snows for Boston, down through Hartford there and into Rhode Island, with the snow wrapping up across New York into Pennsylvania and New Jersey as we go into that Sunday time frame. Here's the rainfall accumulation with this system. Saturday the 6th through Monday the 8th, widespread rainfall of a couple of inches from the Carolinas down through Georgia, Florida there, and possibly southern Virginia. And then looking at the snowfall side of this system, this is the European model between Saturday, January 6th and Monday, January 8th. Look at that narrow corridor of possibly over a foot of snow with this model from Boston down through Hartford into New York City, including much of Long Island there, and then getting through northern portions of New Jersey and east central portions of Pennsylvania on the European model. Compare that to the GFS model, there's still some discrepancy in the placement of the snow and the severity of how much snow could fall. The GFS model doesn't really like a lot of snow falling up here toward Boston, New York City, or Hartford, but has more of it further south across portions of Maryland, northern Virginia, maybe even central Virginia on this run. So there's a little bit that we have to get worked out before we get definite snow totals in here over the next few days, and we'll keep an eye on that. Then right on its heels, we have another storm system moving into West Texas, a 1,000 millibar low there on Sunday as well. That will be rounding up toward the Red River there, toward the Lawton, Oklahoma region at a 994 millibar low on Monday, and then really starting to strengthen as we go into Tuesday. Look at that. Southern Lake Michigan, basically right over portions of Gary, Indiana. That low pressure could drop sub 980. That's a 979 millibar low, and that's very strong. The tight isobars on the backside could be giving us some strong cold winds out of the north and northwest. So looking here on Monday, we got that system very strong down here right over the Lawton, Oklahoma area with that central low pressure. Ahead of the system, we're in the warm sector. We got showers, we got thunderstorms, and some severe weather to keep an eye on. And then on the backside here across western Iowa, east central Nebraska, down through Kansas there, the Oklahoma Panhandle, and perhaps even the Texas Panhandle down toward Amarillo. We could be seeing some snowfall there on Monday. Fast forwarding it to Tuesday on January 9th, there's the heavy snowfall setting up shop into Milwaukee, Chicago, Rockford, Illinois, back through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City region, Davenport, Iowa there, and then back into the Missouri Valley. Also seeing some heavier snows over here into Michigan, Kalamazoo, Lansing, Grand Rapids, and maybe just north of Detroit here on Tuesday. And then finally by Wednesday, yeah, this system's still strengthening as it exits, as this 977 millibar low as it cranks up there into southeastern Canada, bringing some heavier snow to Ontario and Quebec during that time frame. Now, looking at the warm side of this system here, here's the rainfall accumulation with the second storm from Monday, January 8th through Wednesday, January 10th. And notice, again, more heavy rain for the southeast, widespread rainfall amounts here in the pinks and purples and even the reds of 1 to 3 or even 4 inches of rain across this region. The heaviest looks to fall here from portions of Virginia down through the Carolinas, Georgia, and into northwestern Florida with this system. Looking at the warm side as well, we got enough energy here, those dew points. What you need for severe weather essentially is 55 degree Fahrenheit dew points or higher, and we have that sneaking all the way north into perhaps northern Mississippi, north central Alabama, and central Georgia there with low 60 degree dew points further south from there. And we have a very strong, powerful mid-level jet. This is in the 500 millibar layer from Tuesday into that Tuesday time frame. And you can see that rounding the base of that trough. And we also have that low-level jet in the 850 millibar layer here, very formidable across the Dixie Alley region. So as a result, yeah, there's a potential for severe weather Monday afternoon, Monday night, and going into the overnight hours into Tuesday morning here from East Texas through southern Arkansas, getting through much of the state of Louisiana, Mississippi, parts of Alabama there, southwestern Georgia, and into northwest Florida. We will be keeping an eye on that. And all modes of severe weather, including tornadoes, will be a possibility here. And then the cold side of the storm that everybody wants to know as well. Yeah, we do have some heavy snow setting up on the European model from Michigan here into southeastern Canada, but back through the Chicagoland area, Milwaukee, getting down here through the Davenport Quad Cities, and then back toward Kansas City here. The GFS model, very similar, but just slightly farther south by about 50 miles, and that pulls that heavier snow closer to St. Louis, closer to Springfield, Missouri, and even the Tulsa region here as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Still some disagreements in the placement of the models for snow, so we'll keep you updated. But beyond this, the second system, we have an Arctic blast to talk about here. This is the first of a couple lobes of the polar vortex that we will likely see this month, and you can see that by the middle of next week on Wednesday, January 10th. Look at all that cold air up here. You see lots of blues, pinks, and purples across eastern Alaska and the western two-thirds of Canada. Now, initially, it will be slightly below normal on Wednesday across the western U.S., but look at that cold air bleed all the way south into portions of the plain states, the southern plains, and even the mid-south as we go into that Friday, January 12th timeframe. So the Climate Prediction Center is highlighting this area across the northern Rockies, the north central plains, and the upper Midwest here for that slight risk of hazardous cold temperatures between January 10th and that January 16th timeframe. And let's look at some of these temperatures for those couple of days next week. This is your high temperature for Wednesday, January 10th. Looking at Canada here, those are below normal temperatures, and those are well below normal. We're 20 below up here into Alberta, 20 below into Saskatchewan, and approaching 20 below up here as well into Manitoba. Notice the cold air, the Arctic air at least, is not into the northern U.S. on Wednesday, but by the time we get to Friday, yeah, there's that Arctic front moving further south. 0 degrees for a high potentially up there just north of Omaha, below zero highs we could see across portions of the North Dakota region, northwestern Minnesota into northeastern Montana and further north. And that freezing line goes all the way south through the southern Ohio Valley into the southern plains on Friday. And just to add insult to injury here, look at the potential wind chills. We got just a slight wind out there, 5, 10, 15 miles per hour, and that could knock our wind chills down on Friday afternoon during the day to 20 to even 30 below zero across the upper Midwest, the northern high plains, and much of southern Canada there. So if you haven't had a wind chill advisory or a wind chill warning this year, it may be coming here across the northern tier of the United States and southern Canada by the time we get into the middle and end of next week. Well, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for detailed weather breakdowns across North America and the tropics. We will continue to keep you covered on these snowstorms and that Arctic blast as we do get closer. Make sure to like the video down below as it helps to get all of this information passed along to more and more people. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their Wednesday out there.